And the high point was reached with the appearance of the first witness for the defense, Dr. Metcalf, the eminent zoologist of the Johns Hopkins. The instant the doctor was asked a question, Bryan came out from behind the table and planted himself less than 10 feet away.
Give us your name.
Maynard M. Metcalf.
Dr. Metcalf, are you an evolutionist?
Surely under certain circumstances that question would be an insult, but under these circumstances, I do not regard it as such.
Do you know of any scientific man in the world who is not an evolutionist?
Well, we accept to that, of course. Though, if you want them all to take a vote.
Our whole case depends upon proving that evolution is a reasonable scientific theory.
I do not know how you can prove it reasonable by proving what some other person believes. That would be hearsay testimony.
But we expect to prove what all science says.
Then bring them here and offer them. I will hear them. Exception sustained.
Professor Metcalf, what would you say, that practically all scientists...
You know, Your Honor, as we do not yet know if Dr. Metcalf's evidence will be admissible, I suggest that the court reporter and counsel go very close to the witness so that they can hear, but the jury cannot.
As you say, Colonel Stewart, gentlemen.
Now, what would you say? Practically all scientists were or were not evolutionists?
Evolution and the theory of evolution are fundamentally different things. The fact of evolution is perfectly clear, but I doubt any two scientists would agree on the exact method by which evolution has been brought about.
Will you state what evolution is, then, with regard to the origin of man?
We accept to that.
How is that?
We are accepting, Your Honor, to everything that mentions evolution.
Your Honor, how is the jury, only one of whom ever read anything about evolution, expected to pass on this question without being told what it is?
Your Honor, we want the jury excluded now. We do not want them to hear any more questions along this line.
If Your Honor, please, I am learning more every day about the procedures of the state of Tennessee. First, that our opponents are objecting to the jury hearing the law, and now they are objecting to the jury hearing the facts.
The objection is sustained. That is, I agree with you, General Stewart. The jury is to vacate.
And so the jury, much to their annoyance, again left the courtroom. Darrow continued to question Metcalf for possible use in a later appeal.
Dr. Metcalf, when did the earliest organisms appear?
It's awfully hard to answer in years. Geologists talk in ages, not years.
More than 6,000 years?
Well, I would say 600 million years is a modest guess. And during that time, this whole great fundamental evolutionary series seen throughout the whole realm of organic life has continued, making it extremely probable that man evolved in the same fashion.
Wednesday, July the 15th, 1925. The doctor was never at a loss for a second, and yet there was no cocksureness in him. And what he got over was a superb counterblast to the fundamentalist bunkum. The jury, at least in theory, heard nothing of it, but it went whooping into the radio and banging into the face of Bryan